Man, that's a cool cover of the song from Bad Dudes, pretty much. Bad Dudes for the NES arcade. I never played the arcade version. Only played the NES version. Fun game. Fun game. Anyway. All right, guys. How's it going? How's it going, man? Rant and chill. I want to talk about the Zack Snyder cut. I'm also going to talk about Roma, Texas. We're going to talk about the border crisis. Because it's a real deal, man. It's a real issue. Of course, we all know that. And you know what? It shouldn't even be a political issue. It doesn't even have to be. It shouldn't. I'll table that for a little bit. Zack Snyder. The Zack Snyder cut of the Justice League. You know, I've been kind of burned out in comic book movies. I don't know why I got this. I'm not the demographic for it. I mean, that might sound weird. Look, man, if you like comic book movies, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. I knew it was long going in. 4 hours. 4 hours. 4 hours. Some people define it as a epic. I could see that. Definitely is an epic for the DC comic book lovers. All that. I mean, it's a long tell, and what I liked about this version compared to the 2017 Justice League was that the characters had more screen time, they had more story, more involvement. Okay, so you kind of had a better understanding of why things were happening and the people's motivations. Because, you know, the problem with the DC universe, with the Justice League, a lot of those characters didn't have their own standalone film leading up to that point. Marvel was much more organized, much more structured. They had a long-term plan. They knew what they were doing. DC just sort of rushed it. So, I'll just say this. My overall opinion, yeah, the Zack Snyder cut. If you're a comic book guy, if you like comic book movies, you're going to love it. You're going to enjoy it. And it's definitely a lot better than the 2017. I will say, though, sitting there for 4 hours, what I was watching it here on the computer. I should have watched it in the living room because I was doing other things during the story moments or the exposition. I was doing other things like messaging people on Discord or, you know, just dicking around, deleting files on the computer, saving space. So, you know, like, I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm getting older or whatever, but like the problem I have with comic book movies, like the over-the-top action sequences, yeah, if they look nice, that's cool. You know, if the CGI looks fine, all right. But after a while, it's just, okay, I get it. It's a big theatric event. It looks like a video game. I'd much rather play the game than watch the game, you know? So after a while, it's like, well, I know what's going to happen. The character's probably going to make it, or the item that they're carrying is going to be picked up, and then, you know, and there you go. And that's exactly what happened. I gotta say, though, out of all the characters in that movie, see, I'm not a comic book guy. I don't know the stories in out. So I don't know if these stories are even the official story after tweaks from the comic books or whatever. But let's take Cyborg. Let's take Cyborg. So Cyborg can tap into any sort of network with his mind. Like he's tapped into, like, the way to describe Cyborg to me just seemed way overpowered. That doesn't make any sense. That one high school kid, or was he high school or college? I don't know. But one kid, pretty much, one teenager, can have access to all sorts of information, to be able to tweak, I guess, communicate with electronics and just know. I guess, I don't know, man. Like, let's see. Can communicate with electronics, can speak to them in a way, find out how to fix them. Can also access nuclear devices on a network. It can access the military network. It can access foreign military networks, let's say like China or Israel or whatever, and not be stopped. Okay, I could see how this could be an issue. Couldn't you? Can access banking, can access banks and tweak that, just make numbers appear out of nowhere, make money appear out of nowhere, which he did. So wait. You're telling me this black teenager who has all this power, all this access. So let's just start with banking. There. How in the world is the economy not in this total crazy flux and totally wild in their little comic book universe, in their DC universe? I mean, if that was the case, if that kid had, if just about any kid had that sort of power, had that sort of access, they would be giving themselves money left and right. They'd be giving people money left and right. Oh, you won the lottery. Reparations for all. You get reparations. And maybe taking money away from other people because, hey, you can give it, you can take it. Imagine if Cyborg had some sort of grudge against big-time billionaire like Jeff Bezos. Just take that money away. Imagine... wait, hold on. This is the same universe where Lex Luthor exists and he's a billionaire. Okay, you could just take his money. What the fuck? I don't know. The Cyborg character to me doesn't seem really thought out. Unless what they told was the simple version. Maybe there's a more detailed version, because it seems like, based on the way they framed it, the way they described it, we're talking about a teenager who would be able to access nuclear devices in the U.S. and launch them at any time. Imagine Cyborg. Imagine if Cyborg was a Democrat and bought into the Russia stealing our election and had access to our nukes and was like, you know what? Let's fire the nukes. Yeah. But it's a comic book movie, so you're supposed to shut off your brain when you watch those, right? Because you can't really ask questions why things happen the way they do, because there's no real sound logic to it. It's just a bunch of made-up nonsense. And man, and that's, I think, the reason why I've been burned out on comic book movies. Just like, you see the stuff and it's like, okay, that made no sense, but it's not going to make sense. It's a comic book movie. Like, even something simple like the Wonder Woman blocking every single bullet with her fucking wristbands. Holy hell. Does everybody have the ability to bend time? Huh? Does everybody have the ability to slow down time and do that super accurately? Come on, no. What happens if she gets shot? Talking about deflecting with the wristbands. The precision, the accuracy on that would have to be is extremely high. Like, you couldn't miss. You couldn't slip up. Like, Wonder Woman couldn't down a bottle of vodka and go around trying to deflect bullets and saving hostages from getting hit. No, someone's going to get hit. She's going to get scraped a couple times, maybe get shot a couple times, have her arm blown off. But, shit, I'll be exposed as someone doesn't always talk about, be like, oh, don't you know? Wonder Woman can deflect bullets. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the thing. Some people might say, oh, you just hate comic book movies. I don't hate them. I like them at times. It depends on what it is. You know, it depends on the hero. Depends on the character. Depends on what's going on. Okay. Batman's cool because he's human. And it's like, you start with the realm of plausibility, of possibility. It's okay. Iron Man started kind of grounded, but then got crazier and crazier. Who's Satan? Satan is your friend. Satan is your... I know. He's your friend. He is. Consider that. Consider this a test of temptation. Okay. Satan is not really your friend. Obviously. That's just temptation there. You say, no, Satan, you are not my friend. Just like you say, I mean, what, wrong one. Oh, wrong one. There you go. Offering a baby to the slaughter. Just like all you pro-choice people. All you Democrat-loving pro-choice people that want to just kill babies, abort babies. You know who's Satan's friend, all right? The Democrats. They're Satan's friend. And anyone who says they're conservative or says they're libertarian and says they don't care if someone aborts a baby. You don't care? Then fuck you. I mean, that's kind of it. I mean, that's my opinion. That's my opinion. Oh, shit. You should care. It's a life. Oh, and they'll say, oh, we're conservatives have no problem executing people. You mean for, like, crimes? For, like, murder? Yeah. Yeah, you know. A demon rat. There you go. So, yeah, let's see. Some of the Justice League, Zack Snyder cut. What do you think of that, Ouija? Have you seen it? Ouija board? I think you must have dabbled in some things on the side. You ever talk to Satan? Shit. Yeah, it's like... like I said, overall, the Zack Snyder cut was fine. I guess if you like comic book movies, it was really long, but it's a lot of stories. Okay, I gotta tell you though, what really grind my gears is the fucking superhero pep talks. I hate them. I hate them so fucking much. They're copy and paste from every single fucking comic book movie you've ever seen. If you've seen one, you've seen them all pretty much. It doesn't matter if it's Marvel or if it's DC. It's like, there's always going to be a superhero pep talk. We're going to have to fight this evil foe. This guy is, he fought all sorts of things. He's a demon. He's a monster. Well, guess what? That demon or monster never fought us before. Never mind the fact that he just did like an act ago and they got their ass kicked. But, they're going to go at it again. Yeah. Don't worry. That enemy, that big demon enemy we're supposed to fight never fought us before. Okay. It's a 4-hour movie. I don't see it. There's a reason why they cut that shit. They cut it because that would not fly in theaters. Like I said, I did start messaging people on Discord, or taking care of some shit on my computer instead of really watching the film. I was watching it, but I wasn't really missing much when I was like not paying full attention. Oh, fight sequence. Okay. All right, it looks cool. Okay. I get it. Yeah, I sound like an old fucking fart now, don't I? Man. But I see those crazy action sequences, and I'm like when Batman's shooting laser guns or whatever, or Batman's in this fucking badass Batmobile looking thing with the chain guns and a fucking railgun looking thing. It's like, okay, that looks cool, but I want to play that game. But the upside of it, the plus side, I guess, the thing I liked about it was that, like I said, you got more of the characters. You got a kind of a better understanding of who they are and their dealings and all that stuff. Even though some of the characters I just flat out don't really care for. Like at the beginning, I didn't give two shits about Cyborg. He just seemed like some kid who had some emo problems. Oh, my dad doesn't watch my football game. My dad's never around. Okay. All right. I mean, not to bring the race into it, but okay. All right. My dad's never around. I hate my dad. You know, teenage angst. Okay. All right. Well, out of all the other issues people have, that's like, yeah, okay. But he died. He was brought back in a very painful way using the magic cubes. Oh, okay. Okay, then that's something then. I suppose. There was a scene in the movie at the very end. I'm not going to give, well, you know, I might spoil some things. Well, actually, before I get to there, let me talk about Batman real fast. Because people are saying that they like this Batman. I hate Ben Affleck as Batman. Ben Affleck is the worst Batman I've seen. George Clooney, okay. George Clooney is the worst Batman. Ben Affleck is right above that. Depending on how I feel, I might actually say George Clooney's better. But I just don't like Ben Affleck as Batman. People say, oh, he looks cool as Batman. Does he? I don't see it. Michael Keaton was a better Batman. Adam West was a better Batman compared to Ben Affleck. I just did not like that Batman. Black kids don't have fathers. Well, you know, they tend to, the women tend to leave to collect that child support. Well, what's the incentive for the women to stay? When they can just go find another baby daddy. I don't know. Shit. Yeah, I did not care about that Batman at all. And there's people that are praising it, whatever. And that Batman still had the voice modulation whenever he was in his Batman form and he sounded all different. Why? It is. People made fun of shit. The Chris Nolan Batman for having that deep voice. It's like, okay. All right. But the Ben Affleck Batman, it still had that deep modulated voice, but yet he's supposed to be with like his friends. They know who he is. Why does he still use that? It doesn't make any fucking sense to me. I don't know. Black men prey on innocent white women. Oh. Those white women know exactly what they're getting into. They do. You know what? What I find interesting is how black women hate that. Black women, at least from what I've seen in a way, do not like it when black men get with white women. They take that as like some sort of racial injustice. Okay. Now I guess to talk about that one scene. It's kind of towards the end. And shit. Sure you got the actor's name. That Jesse, whatever the fuck his name is. The Social Network guy. The guy that was in Zombieland. The whiny little kid, the whiny little guy who always plays the one actor, the Jesse actor that always plays the whiny little piece of shit, the little shrimp. Why the fuck did they cast him as Lex Luthor? That's the dumbest. That was fucking horrible. Why would they do that? But there's a scene at the end where it's Lex Luthor and he's talking to I can't tell you. So some guy, it's like the DC version of Deadpool. I have no fucking idea who the character is. He has two swords on his back. Okay. All right. And someone's going to be like, oh, you don't know the character? It's like, yeah, man, I don't know all the characters. Why would I know all the characters? Good on you if you do, okay? Not shaming. I'm just saying I just don't know. But in that scene, Lex Luthor looks like a insecure, whiny little bitch that's trying to pretend to be tough, pretend to be smart and sophisticated and sure of himself, someone of confidence, which I thought Lex Luthor would be someone with confidence. Well, whatever. That's not even the scene that really bothered me. See, there's a part at the end of the movie where I had to go back, I think about 3 or 4 times to see if I missed something. Did I miss something? They already fought the big guy. The bad guy is done. They have everybody wrapping up. Multiple endings going on. Okay. And then there was something at the end. And then it goes into like this. It looks like Iraq. It looks like a weird alternate universe where the world's shit. And you got Batman there. You got some other people there. And you got the Joker. You got the Joker talking to Batman. And I'm just like, did I miss something? What the fuck is this? How did this fucking happen? What am I watching here? And I gotta tell you, that scene, I didn't care for that scene. I didn't care for that scene at all. Let's see. In that scene, the person that was playing the Joker is Jared Leto. Okay. He had his long hair. He didn't really have the tattoos and all that stuff, but it just, the performance of the Joker seemed weird. I didn't like it. I just flat out did not like it. It looked like somebody who's trying to pretend to be Heath Ledger playing Batman, but it's like, or not playing Batman, playing the Joker. I was like, it seems like someone trying to emulate it. Not good. I just didn't buy it. Turns out it was just a dream sequence. You know, it's one of those things. Oh, it's just a dream. Batman woke up. Okay, that's what that was. I was like, oh, all right, man. Whatever. 4 hours to watch cool explosions on lasers and shit. Like I said before, when it comes to comic book movies, I'm burnt out on them, man. This movie wasn't for me. I did like some of it, but it's not perfect. It's like, you guys waited this long for this? Well, it's better than the 2017 version. But the movie wouldn't have to have been 4 hours if DC, if Warner Brothers, would have just been patient and just made the standalone films and built up to the Justice League instead of just, I don't know, jumping the shark and really going for it. Okay. But anyway, that's enough of that. Let's talk about some real shit. Talk about some real stuff. You know what though? You know, like when I think of real movies, I'm thinking stuff like The Godfather or like Tombstone. You know? Yeah, let's just say Tombstone. When was the last movie that had that sort of caliber, man? What's the modern day version of Tombstone? I don't want a remaking, of that. I'm just saying that is a badass movie. Anyway, so in case you've been, I guess living under a rock, you probably already know that, yeah, there's a huge border crisis, and the Democrats will try to pretend, be like, oh, it's no issue. It's nothing to see here. It's not a crisis. It's just that, we're offering a more humane approach and people seem to like it. No shit, they like it. You got people from Guatemala going through Mexico, not wanting to stop at Mexico because they want the nice U.S. welfare. They want the nice U.S. fucking welfare. They want the government cheese. They want the free healthcare. They want the free college. They want to go to a country that'll give them all sorts of freebies, so they're going to leave their fucking shithole. They're going to leave their little Guatemalan country. You know what? And I would rather them stay in Guatemala and us have to give them some sort of, like, I don't know, aid, maybe some humanitarian aid. I think we did, right? We used to give them money. I think, dude, if we still give them money and they're coming across the border, fuck that. Fuck all of that. Fuck it. No. And it's like the way they're coming through, the whole fucking country's coming, man. People say it's not an invasion. What do you call it when you got thousands upon thousands every single fucking day coming to the U.S. border, coming to the southern border? It's a fucking invasion. That's what a fucking goddamn is. And this shouldn't be a political issue. I don't care if you're left or right. Here's the thing, man. If you care about kids, if you say you care about kids, but you're for open borders, you're a fucking hypocrite and go fucking kill yourself because you don't give two shits about kids. Those kids are being fucking exploited. They're being exploited by coyotes. Oh, God damn it. They go to these facilities. They get lost. Oh, my God. And then it turns out even with the fucking federal assistance with the Human Health and Services, HHS, federal program, they have been caught, they have been exposed, sending the kids, relocating the kids to traffickers, to people who are just going to exploit them for cheap labor. Little kids that have been sent to egg farms, various farms. They've probably been sent to other places too. This is what's happening. If you say if you say you care about the children and you say you're for open borders, go fucking jump in front of an 18-wheeler. I just do that because you have no right to talk about this. In fact, if anything, I don't want to hear you say you're for the kids and you're also for abortion. I don't want to hear that. No, you're fucking not. No, you're not. If you want to kill babies, and if you want to kill babies after they're born, and you say you care about the kids, you could go fuck yourself with a 12-inch fucking dildo. Okay, go get fucked by a fucking donkey. Do that shit. Be like Vosh. If you care about the exploitation of labor, if you all those bread tubers will be like, but capitalism exploits labor. Every fucking economy exploits goddamn cheap labor. Communism's no fucking different. But anyway, if you care about that, but yet say nothing when obviously the illegal aliens are coming in, the illegal immigrants that are coming in are obviously going to be exploited for dirt cheap labor. That's what they are. That's what they fucking goddamn are. They're going to displace other minorities from their jobs. Hey, why pay this black person minimum wage, $15 minimum wage, when I could pay Juan next to nothing because he's not even legal? And they'll say, but that doesn't happen. What do you mean it doesn't fucking happen? It happens all the goddamn time. Have you been to Texas? Have you been to California? Have you Yeah, if you say you are for the kids, if you say you are against people being exploited and their labor being exploited, and you're for open borders, you're a fucking hypocrite. Go. I'm gonna call. What's his number? From Louisiana. I don't know anyone from Louisiana. I don't know who that person is. Is that a message number 4? H. Burns? I don't even know who that is. Huh. That's weird. All right. It's fucking insane to me. The hypocrisy. We're talking about so it was 3,000 illegal immigrant kids being sent to Dallas. That I heard a couple of days ago. But now it's like 13,000 illegal immigrant children here at the border. They're crossing without any adults with them. Who the fuck is sending these kids? You can't tell me you care about the kids when you have no problem if you have no concern about the kids crossing harsh terrain, being navigated by coyotes who are definitely fondling them, definitely finger banging them. I hate to paint it that way, but you know what they fucking are. The coyotes don't work for free. They're getting their dick sucked or getting fucking money. That's what they do. They're not good, wholesome people. No. You tell me they're good and wholesome, yet they work for the fucking cartel? There was a cartel shootout in Texas. Let's talk about that. The cartel shootout. In Roma, Texas. See, on March 18th, that was yesterday, DailyMail.com reported that a gun battle between the Cartel del Noreste and Cartel del Golfo had broken out recently. And Ciudad Miguel Alaman, whatever. Okay. It's a border town. It's right there. Okay. It's really close. But yeah, that was live on Tucker Carlson, and you could hear the gun battle. It was pretty intense, man. It sounded like, I don't know, it sounded like those Iraq videos you would see. I mean, goddamn, you care about the kids? You care about people being exploited? You know why those cartels are fighting, having a gun battle there? For territory. They want to claim that town. Why? When the illegal immigrants cross through, they have to pay a fee. They pay a tax. They pay a tax for the aid. They call it a piso. I don't know if it's pronounced that right. P-I-S-O. They have to pay them, and it's mandatory that they pay. If they don't pay, they pay in other ways. Okay? The cartels are not given freebies. They're not like America. They're not just going to be given all sorts of welfare aid for the poor Guatemalan whatever. They don't give two shits about them. They don't give two fucks about them. Neither does Mexico. Mexico doesn't want them. Keep on going up. Keep on going up. Oh. And the way those towns operate, when the Border Patrol goes to those towns, it's like everyone that works there seems to be an eye for the cartel. Oh, you got to get them out. You got to get the illegals out. Okay. But they don't really have the manpower right now to do much of anything. I mean, we're talking about out in the open, in daylight, a gun battle right there. Huh? How many women and children got shot in that thing? I don't know. Don't have the body count here. Not yet. I mean, the sort of people that use these very illegal means to cross the border are criminals. They are, flat out. First off, it's flat out illegal just to cross the border anyway. Be like, oh, but they're not criminals. They're just looking for a better life. Motherfucker, go back to your country and make that country a better life for you. They're not refugees. They're coming over not because Guatemala sucks, not because Guatemala is a fucking hellhole. They're coming over because America is better than Guatemala. That's why they're coming over. In Guatemala, they don't give food stamps and free medical aid. Okay, I was gonna say Medicare. They don't do that shit. They're not gonna offer free college. Okay. No, they come to the U.S. where they can get that shit. They come to the U.S. and they're coming in waves and increasing in massive waves because of the Biden administration, because of what they sent. It's no coincidence that when Trump leaves and Biden comes in, now you got this huge, massive surge. They tried to do a surge when Trump was in, and Trump turned that fucking shit around. We ain't taking you here. This isn't Obama anymore. We ain't taking you. Biden admin, whoever is the puppet master to Biden, it's probably a bunch of people. Biden probably has a bunch of fists up his ass. Nancy Pelosi's, Obama's, Kamala Harris. You know, it's not China or Russia yet. Not yet. They're calling him out. I like that Putin called out Biden for a for a live debate because he know that shit ain't gonna happen. When you got foreign countries want to challenge our president to a live debate, and they know that's never gonna happen because he's a fucking puppet. Oh shit! What comes next? What comes next may not be so funny, but you know what? I'll like it anyway. I'm sure. I'm sure I'll find something humorous about Russia coming over, freeing us, liberating us from our from our fucking super woke, super progressive government. If anything, I think I would like that. I don't know. But man, this stuff is serious. People need to take this seriously. I know a lot of people are seriously very concerned about this. It's the government that takes this seriously. There's a gag order right now that's being passed around with the Border Patrol agents. They're not supposed to leak anything. They're not supposed to come to the media to talk about what's going on. It's not an official memo. It's just something that's being said, but they're doing it anyway. From what I understand of talking, interacting with Border Patrol agents, they are very passionate about their job. They do it because they are very dedicated and very serious about it. They do not like what's going on right now at all. It's fucking bullshit. And they see what comes through. They see the criminal element that comes through. They see the children that cross with very questionable adults. They do the DNA tests on them, find out, hey, they're not related. Let's separate them. They ain't fucking related. Maybe it's a distant relative. Ain't playing games with this shit. No. Ain't playing games with this fucking shit. You got people being arrested there. You find out that they're on the FBI terror watch list. You got MS-13 coming in. You got massive drugs coming. Oh, but who cares about drugs, right? They're going to go straight to Portland. Where it's free. Oh, not free. Where it's legalized. Or decriminalized, I should say. Shit. Flooding the country, flooding the states with illegal immigrants that are going to cause so many fucking issues. Like I said, displaced minorities. You want to say you care about minorities, about how minorities are unemployed, but yet you don't care about open border. In fact, you pro open border, then you don't give a shit about black people. Hey, if you're pro open border and you say you care about, you say Black Lives Matter, you're a fucking hypocrite. Go jump in front of a truck because you do not care about black lives. Hey, it just is. It's just is. It's just a fact. Russian girls are white girls. Relax. Yeah. I'm good with that. The Russian girls are pretty hot too. I'm good with that too. And for the record, I'm like, I have no problem if people want to cross the border legally and become a legal citizen that way. Do it that way. There's a reason why we have the process to vet these individuals to make sure that they're not criminals. Make sure that they are an actual legit family they're crossing over, right? But no, they don't want to take that route. They want to avoid that route. Because one, the Biden administration pretty much gave them a fucking pass saying, hey, you could come on and you'll become a legal citizen. Now, what's the fucking point of being processed then? So, I mean, it's crazy. Like I said, I think, what was it, 13,000? We have 13,000 fucking illegal immigrant kids. That number's going to increase, man. That number's going to increase. I heard a rumor, I don't know if this is true, I need to substantiate this one, that supposedly Texas administration is not allowed inside the FEMA facilities for the kids. I don't know if that's true. fact check that one, you know. But if that is true, the attorney general needs to sue. I mean, he's been on fire. You say what you will about Abbott. Every now and then he does something that's cool, like lifting the masks, lifting the restrictions. Hey, I'm good with that. But it's the Texas AG who's on fucking fire right now. That dude is not fucking playing. You ever seen him? He looks like he looks like a motherfucker who doesn't play around. He looks like a motherfucker that would be in a Tombstone movie. Abbott is a motherfucker that would be in a Tombstone movie, but he'd be in the background. He'd be like one of the first guys, or I don't know. He'd just be the bartender, or the town mayor that can't do anything. It's fucking insane. And yet, we're supposed to believe that there's no issues, so there's no problems, that everything's A-okay. Oh, trust the plan. There's no issue. There's no crisis here. It's like, okay, all right. And there was a policy before Biden that when these people are held, they're to be processed, right? And that stuff could be done on the other side of the border where it should be done. Now it's done in the States. They call that the more humanitarian approach. What it is they give them a court date to appear so they can be processed and all that. But what if they don't appear? What's the guarantee that they will? There is no guarantee that they will. What happens if they don't? Okay, go find them. Okay, good luck on that. It's fucking stupid. Never mind the fact when the illegal immigrants flood the fucking states. Let's just talk about Texas. Let's talk about Texas. Talk about what that does. You know, they'll say that, oh, but illegal immigrants commit fewer crimes than U.S. citizens. And they have studies that show that. They will compare the population of illegal immigrants and the crimes they commit versus the population of America, the crimes they commit. Okay. But I don't know. If you take the population, if you compare it to just them, you'll see that there are a shit ton of arrests. I think last year there was over 100,000 arrests. Actually, I think it was last year. 100,000, more than 100,000 arrests, and 90% of them already had other charges, like DWIs, drug trafficking. Some had rape, some had murder, some had that shit. So no, like when the people there say, "Oh, nothing to worry about. You don't have to worry about anything. They're not criminals. They're coming peacefully. They just want to live. They just want a place to live." They don't know what they're fucking talking about. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. You know what? If they're not criminals, then they could come through the legal way. How about that? They could wait their turn. Wait their fucking turn. This shit pisses off Latinos as well, especially here in Texas. Imagine this at the DMV. Everyone's been to the DMV. You got to wait, right? You pull a ticket, you pull a number, and you have to fucking wait forever for your turn. Imagine you're waiting for your turn to be processed, to be let into the country legally, but then these other motherfuckers come in, they fucking cut you in line. They cut you in line and they're given a pass. And you're like, but you didn't even vet them. You just let them in. And but now it's my turn, and now you're asking for all this information. You're checking my background, all this stuff. It's not fucking fair. It doesn't make any sense. Here's the other thing too. Every fucking country has a vested interest to protect their fucking borders, man. See this fucking shit would fly in fucking Israel? No shit, it won't fucking fly in Israel. They'll be like, no, we ain't taking that shit. Say it. But go back to illegal immigrants in Texas. The other thing it does too, it poses a problem when you have a bunch of illegal immigrants that are driving illegally. They get in car crashes. Okay, Who's paying for that shit? Are they paying for it? They ain't fucking paying for it. That family ain't fucking paying for it. You're paying for it. The dude that was driving the 18-wheeler that plowed into the SUV, that killed like how many again? It was like what, 37, 38, 40 people in there. What happened to him? Did he lose his job? And he was just driving on the fucking road. And all of a sudden this SUV just comes out from a hole in the goddamn border. And you'll find some areas that have very suspected children operations. You'll find some areas in the low income areas that have a lot of kids out there, a lot of girls out there. Why are these girls out there at that time of night? Why are they wearing the stuff that they're wearing? What's going on here? What's this open secret in this neighborhood? What's going on? Oh, and I'm going to say this just a little bit. I'm not going to go too deep on it, but in the well, I just say I wouldn't put it past some people in the Hispanic community to perp on kids. I'm just put it that way. I would just put it that way. I mean, there's creepers. There's fucking creeps and pedos of all fucking races. But from what I've seen, even from my wife's family, there's some fucking shady ass stuff when it's like the nobody hugs the grandpa because he's a fucking creeper. He'll grope all the kids. Like I don't let my kids around him. Like I don't let my kids hug him because he's a little too relaxed, I guess a little too eager with his fingers. You know what I'm saying? Very creepy. It is a culture of quinceañeras. What's quinceañeras? At 15, they're of age. What does that mean? You know exactly what that means. But like I said, if you care about kids, and you care about kids being sexually exploited, and yet you're for open borders, then you don't give a fuck about the kids being sexually exploited. How about that? Uh-oh. It's a fire. Ah. Shit. Got to fire an ashtray. And there's something else I'm going to talk about later on in a later stream. Something that's been on my mind. You know, guys, I said I'm a recovering coomer. I don't know about that one. I think I'm going to be done with my coomer ways. At least I want to be. I've been reading up more about the negative effects of porn and reading these stories about these ex-porn stars that come out. And they tell you all the dirty details of what's going on in the industry. And it's like, okay, reading this stuff and becoming more aware of what's the dark, ugly side of pornography. It's like I really can't be part of that. I can't be a contributor, if you will. What does that mean for the TNA? Usually the TNA thumbnails. I don't know about that. I mean, TNA is TNA. That's not really porn. It's there's a line there. But in future streams, I'll be covering that anti-porn stuff, which is going to be great. It should be fun. Anyway. Yeah, so shit. Probably could have grabbed more material to talk about, but that's pretty much it, man. The shootout at the border is quite interesting. I don't think you're going to hear about that in other channels other than Fox News. That's the only thing. You can hate Fox News and how they covered the fucking election. Yep. You can. Oh, actually, there was this video I was going to play. You think Michael Knowles will care if I play this? You think that's going to be a problem? We'll see. I put it on the screen here. Have my elaborate setup here. That's not it. There we go. And thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for watching. And the stuff I talk about, definitely let me know in the comment section or in the chat how you feel about this. And definitely in the comment section afterwards. So that definitely helps. Just a small channel, small blip under the radar. I am going to try to stay clear of the drama stuff. It does no good. I'd rather talk about real issues like this. And I think that's a better look anyway.
You realize, of course, that the left controls all of the institutions, right? Big tech, higher education, lower education, the administrative state.
And that's true. The left pretty much does control everything on that part.
On and on in Hollywood, right? So if they control all the institutions and there is institutional racism, that would be a problem for the left. And we see this in the media. Here's some institutional racism. There was a story just came out of Rochester. 2 black teens burned a mentally ill white guy to death.
2 black teens burned a mentally ill, a handicapped white man to death.
Burned a mentally ill white guy to death. Rochester, New York.
Is that an act of racism? Is that a hate crime? No, they're not being charged with a hate crime, are they? Let's see.
The 2 black teens have been charged with assault and arson.
Assault and arson. That's it. No hate crime there. Why did you burn that mentally ill white guy? Oh, he was white. Reparations. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna go hate crime here. And this happened in Rochester, right? In Rochester, New York. And I did some digging into it to see if the Rochester's DA was one of the George Soros' DA. For what it's worth, it doesn't appear to be. In fact, if anything, the person that was campaigning against her appears very much to be in favored by George Soros. So the current district attorney, Sandra Dorley, appears to be pushing back against her challenger, Shania Curry Mitchell. And on Mitchell's campaign, there was advertisements and stuff that was funded by George Soros to kind of frame Dorley as like this very strict DA prosecutor that prosecuted innocents, put innocent people behind bars. So I guess you could call that a silver lining, I suppose. But it doesn't change the fact that these 2 kids attacked this guy. You know, if it was 2 white guys doing this to a black guy, there would be a hate crime charge on there. At least there would be a push for it, right? But, I mean, if it's good for one, it should be good for both. You know? Hey, if you ask me, hey, I would say sure. I mean, if it's a crime that's committed and it's like, okay, they intended to do it because they hated that motherfucker because he was white and they just wanted to do that, charge him with a hate crime. Charge him with a fucking hate crime. These 2 black kids should be charged with hate crimes. That's what I think.
I'm not sure if they were charged with murder. They snuck into the guy's home on Friday afternoon. They sprayed him with an ignitable fluid, and they set him on fire until 70% of his body was covered in second-degree burns. Then they left him to die. But thankfully, a man, maybe it might have been a mailman or a worker who was checking on the gas and the electric, came into the apartment, tried to put him out, put the guy who was on fire, put him out. By the time 911 got there, though, it was too late. The victim fought for his life for 4 days in a burn trauma unit, and then he died.
And you know who's covering this other than Michael Knowles? Who's talking about this, huh? You know, it's interesting too. If it was an Asian dude, they would talk about it. But if it was an Asian dude that was burned alive by 2 black dudes, they would talk about it, but they wouldn't really say the race of the person that did it. And that's true. Oh, the media's loving the fact that some white kid shot up the massage parlors or whatever, the massage places. Oh, they're loving that. They will talk about that. They'll put his face up there on the screen. Hey, look, we got it. We got the white terror on Asians. We got it right here. Okay, but you also have a bunch of brothers out there that are doing some horrible things, stabbing, killing Asians out in broad daylight, and you're not saying anything. Look, if you're gonna call out one, you got to call out all. All right, you can't play favorites. You cannot play favorites. That's my position on this. Okay. Do I think it's wrong that a bunch of brothers are targeting these Asian dudes just for the fact that they're Asians? Yes, I think it's wrong, and I think it should be called out. I think it. Yeah, obviously. Do I think it's wrong that the white kid shot up the massage parlor? What do you think? Of course. Duh. I think most of us do. But it's funny how the media would have like double standards on that shit, and that stuff that fucking infuriates me, man.
A police source has confirmed the original reporting, which came from Bob Lonsberry, has confirmed that to the Daily Wire. You probably haven't heard of this story. If the races were reversed, this would be actually an international news story.
Yeah, that's true. If the races were reversed, BBC would talk about it.
And the teens would be called white supremacists, and they would certainly go to prison for life and likely receive the death penalty. There would be marches in the streets. There would, if 2020 is any indication,
right? Is what he's saying wrong? Sounds about right. Sounds on point. Exactly what I said.
There would be riots all over the streets. Stores would be broken into. People would be stealing private property in the name of social justice.
Mm-hmm.
Cities
probably backed by George Soros too.
would be on fire. But the races are reversed here. So not only is none of that happening, but none of that's happening in large part. Well, none of it would happen anyway. But one of the reasons none of it's happening is because the media just won't cover it. Are these kids being charged with a hate crime? I don't know. What is a hate crime? Hate crime.
See, this stuff, man. All I could really do when I hear stories like this is just like shake my head in disbelief. It's like because we know it to be true. We know that if the races were reversed, it would be a huge ordeal. It'd be in the news, it'd be everywhere. But because it's 2 black kids on this white mentally ill man, a mentally ill man, he was burned alive. He was burned alive. Who does that? Who does that shit? Savages do. Grim Cheers requested for me to cover more Southwest politics. I think that is the move, the direction for some of these rent and chills. I think that's what's going to be. So more Southwest politics, Texas, Arizona, New Mexico. I'm also going to do some streams on anti-pornography, favorite and anti-pornography. I know it looks weird with the saying is your friend in the background. Hey, I publish horror. When I go all the way, I go all the way. And now I look at it as a kind of a temptation, you know. I'm also going to look out for, I think in April, my plan for April was to focus more on Rant and Chill, have the hard talk radio stuff, maybe on Fridays, and try to get some guests for Rant and Chill to talk about more ideologies and philosophy and these sort of issues here. So I'm looking around, seeing who I can invite, who would be good. Kind of going from there. If you have any suggestions, feel free to let me know in the chat or on the comment section later on, and I'll definitely do that. All right, so I think I'm going to wrap up the stream here on this note. Just I say this all the time, but stay safe out there and take care of yourself, protect yourself. You know what that means. And that's it, man. Thank you guys for watching. You have a good one.